Hello and welcome back to Samata on Bass. Hope everybody is doing well at this time. This week through the studio we had quite an interesting amplifier in the Peavey Headliner 1000, and I was just having a bit of a play with it and seeing what it can do. And then I thought about it and I thought it's a little bit of a odd bird in the market at the moment. So this is what it looks like. So it's a 2-rack unit, Class D, 1000 watt into 4 ohms, 700 watts into 8 ohms. You can see the package is quite deep. It is reasonably heavy, 12 pounds, 5.4 kilograms. So for a Class D amplifier, the rest of the world has gone the other way and it's gone smaller and smaller and smaller. And this one, I think, is an earlier foray. It's probably been around a few years. So it's quite a large package, almost, exactly actually a power amp size package with maybe a preamp stuck on the front. So without further ado, I'll play a few things through it with a few settings and you can have a listen. And then we'll have a chat about what it is and where it fits in at the end of the video. So just going through the front panel, there's your input. There is a pad here, which is active passive. The pre-gain, 3 tone switches, a bright, a contour and a crunch. A shelving bass control or lows. A graphic EQ on and off. Then you have the 7-band graphic in lieu of a mid control, so it gives you a bit more control of frequencies in the mid-range. But actually, and further than that, because they start at 40 Hz, 100, 200, 400, 800, 1.6K and 3.2K. So they're very bass-friendly frequencies. A shelving high control. Then you have a compressor with a switch that switches it in and out. So it's a 1-knob compressor. Your volume, the mute switch, which is indicated by the light flashing. The light flashing red and green, and a phone's output. So let's just try it flat with everything disengaged and the high and low set to the center detent position. Let's push in that bright switch. We'll switch that bright switch off now and push in the contour switch, which scoops the mids. So that gives you a pretty good scooped slap tone there. Engage the crunch. Now that plays off a little bit from the pre-gain. So I'll just leave that pre-gain set somewhere about the middle and see what the crunch sounds like. Now turning up that input gain will give it more crunch, but you need to compensate with your output volume so it doesn't bump the level up too much. With the input gain set at a slightly lower level, the crunch is less distorted and kind of adds a bit of tubey sort of overdrive to it. So I guess with a bit of a smiley curve EQ you can dial up a slap sound. And you can use that EQ to dial in several different sounds. Something with perhaps a bit more mids for a bridge pickup. Let's dial in a bit of that compression. I'm not a big fan of one knob compressors, but they can help as long as your setting is not too high. Now on that back panel we have two speaker outputs. One is the twist lock type and the other one is just like a jack type. A effects loop which send and return. There's a remote switch which is available for this. That can switch in and out the crunch and the compressor, but not the EQ. And it has a DI output that has a ground lift and a pre-post switch, which is very, very handy. We've spoken about pre and post before and where you would use it. So as you can hear, it's not a bad sounding amp at all. In fact, even the flat setting sounds quite reasonable. And with the shelving bass and treble EQs and the 7-band graphic, which has user-friendly 40 Hz, 100 Hz, 200 Hz, 400 Hz, 800, 1.6K and 3.2K frequency centers. They're very bass friendly frequencies, right? With the contour switch, the bright and the crunch, the one knob compressor, which works pretty well for a one knob compressor, and things like the DI output that is pre-post switchable, has a ground lift, all those sort of features you would want. This has, I think, largely been overshadowed by their Mini Mega, which is a 2.8 kilogram 1000 watt amp. It retails somewhere, I think, just under $600. It's feature packed. It has some interesting switches for the mids where you can narrow the Q on them and you can select the high and low mid frequencies as well as the cut and boost. And also I think this has been slightly overtaken by the Mini Max, which is a 600 watt head, sub $400, and it has a tuner built into it and a single mid control, but has a mid shift function and a few other goodies. Both the other amps have pre-post switchable DI outputs, so there's nothing to be gained. So what is to be gained by something this size in the market? It was still a current Peavey product, still on their website, and when I look at it, I thought initially it didn't make any sense. But if you're the kind of person that's lugging two 4x10 cabs, you need the volume, you need the power, and you also need the look, then this is going to have the look, and it really looks rock and roll, doesn't it? Some of the things that I did like about it is the sound. The sound's pretty good. You can dial up some nice sounds. I like the black on white and white on black graphics on the front. The letdown there is these chrome, let's hold that up closer, these chrome switches. So depending on, these chrome knobs, depending on the angle you look at them, you can either see that black line or you can't. So it would have been better to have some more regular knobs, like maybe a matte black with a white line or something like that. And so you can at least rack mount this, 5.4 kilograms, 12 pounds. It's not that bad if you're lugging big cabs, if you need 1,000 watts and that sort of thing. And it's got enough features to make it worthwhile. And the good news about them is that being what they are and the size that they are and the market they're competing in now, you can pick these up quite cheap. So you can really, really do a deal on these, because I have a feeling they're going to disappear soon. And it'll be a good time to pick one up if you need an amp with 1,000 watts and this powerful. Some of the other things I wasn't fond of, there is a fan that switches in and out. It's a thermally controlled fan. It can get a little bit noisy in very quiet settings like in the studio. Live it wouldn't matter at all. I suppose it keeps the unit cool, and a lot of them have fans. So Peavey's been met with mixed emotions in the market recently, and I believe since this product. But I think with the Minimax head and a range of combos, I think they may be on a winner with those, because they've got some very inventive ideas. One of them is a baffle that's sort of slightly tilted back so you can hear it better when you're using it on stage. I like to get one of those in and just run through the features and the sound of it, because they're quite portable by the look of them. So I hope you found this product video a little bit intriguing as I did. Something so big for a Class D. But again, if you want that rock and roll look, if you want those features and you want them super cheap, well, I think it's a winner there. I don't know that it's a winner if you want something portable you can throw in your gig bag, which is more the go in the market these days. So in any case, I'm trying to get a Minimax head that we can have a play with and look at the features of that and see what it sounds like. Until then, keep making music, keep playing bass, stay well, stay healthy. God bless, and I'll see you at the next video.